Hello. Hello, Glory Tent. So I just shout out to the team PNG over there. Wave. Yeah. So we spent 2.5 months in Papua New Guinea. My name's Kaylee, and I co-led with Griff over there. We spent some time on a ship. I'm just going to explain a little bit of what we did, and then I'm going to hand it over to Christian to share a story. We spent some time in the ships. With the ships, we helped just clean it up and get them sent off. So it was really practical. Mercy Ministry is what we did. It was really fun. And then we flew over to a city called Leh, in which we did church ministry. We worked in evangelism in the markets, all sorts. And then we moved off to the villages. We spent about 3 to 4 weeks in villages, just living with the people, washing in rivers, cooking on fires, doing all sorts. And then in the evenings, we just spoke with communities and saw crazy revival, crazy breakthrough. You have to come talk to us about it sometime. And at the last week, we spent in a village that was 6 hours by boat because they didn't have a road that led to the village. So we had to get on a boat and went 6 hours around the coast to a village where they didn't have the Bible in their language. So we spoke with them and shared with them, but it was really heart-wrenching time because, it was real. It was real. The Bible wasn't there, and yeah, they loved Jesus, but they didn't know who he was. And so we just spent a week with them, and my prayer is that, people will go back with the Bible. We had some crazy stories, some crazy times, but it really came from a place of really laying down our entitlements and our rights, some really rough times of really surrendering things that we thought were due us, but weren't, and really picking up the yes that Jesus had for us. And from that yes, we saw over 500 salvations and over 100 healings, in which God just used us in crazy moments where we really weren't deserving to be used. And God was just so powerful. He used us, he blessed us, and his faithfulness is really our story. So further ado, this is Christian, and he's from Norway. And he carries a lot of joy.
Hey guys, so nice to be here. Just gonna jump right into some crazy stories. We went to this hospital one time. Me, Emily, and a guy named Trevor who was translating for us. He had broken his back 3 days prior to our visit. He couldn't move his legs, couldn't walk. And we prayed with him, and we shared God's love with him, and God touched that man. And he sat up in his bed. And me and Emily was like, what's going on? You shouldn't sit up in his bed. And he said that he pain left his back and it moved up, or he still had some pain in his neck. So we prayed one more time, and he said the pain is gone. And I kind of freaked out. Emily kind of freaked out. The translator was going all on, making him to test it out. So he got the man. He said, if it's completely healed, stand up and walk. So the man stood up and walked down the hall. And everyone in the hospital didn't know what happened. God's glory was crazy. And that just filled our team with so much faith, and we knew that God was moving. Like wherever we went, he was moving with us, and he was doing stuff even though we saw it or not. So a couple of weeks later, we went to this marketplace, and we didn't really know what to do, so we just asked the Holy Spirit to lead us. Sorry, I'll stop moving so much. We asked the Holy Spirit to lead us, and we felt like we should start worshiping. So we just put out our guitar, started playing, and just heaps of people started gathering around us. Probably a crowd of 600 people was just around us, like, what's going on? What's this song? What are they singing about? So we danced around. We probably looked silly in that crowd, just dancing and having fun with the Lord. And then Lord spoke to Skip, and he felt they had something on his heart. So he started to share the gospel with the people, and he started to share what's on his heart, how God is pursuing every single heart that's around in that circle, how he's pursuing in his life and also every single heart that's out there. And he did an altar call and asked people to come forward if they want to receive the Lord. And it was about 8 or 10 people coming forward, receiving the Lord, people getting touched and healed. And then Holy Spirit spoke to Skip again and said, there's people out there full of fear. They don't want to step forward because they're so afraid. But they want my love. They want my heart. So I said, do another altar call and ask them to raise their hands. So about 150 people raised their hands to receive God's glory in their hearts. So good. And we continue to minister to people. We continue to see people saved. We saw healings. And then this one guy came up to us and he said, can you pray for the water bottle? We're like, what? A water bottle? Can you please pray for the water bottle? He had run 2 hours from the first village we went to come and meet us because he heard that we were at that market. In that village, we were there 10 days. We saw a church getting planted. We saw people giving up sorcery, burning witchcraft, and just the revival starting in that village. And us being there, sharing God's love, sharing God's faith. He faithfully ran 2 hours because he believed that if we laid hand on that bottle, if we prayed for that bottle, he can bring that back and heal people when they were drinking from that bottle. It's just crazy. I just want to leave it to that. And it was so good to see just God's faithfulness and God's faith moving in the people around that we touched. Thank you guys so much.